Today I will be talking about when is a movie a cash-in. Well, to tell you the truth, when I think of movies that are cash-in, I always think of movies that are based off books for some reason, like The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, and Divergent. This is just what I want to talk about today, or when a movie is a cash-in. Seems like that movies based off books are just cash-ins. Well, I think when the Hunger Games, like when the original Hunger Games came out in 2012, I don't think it was a cash-in because I think they actually worked pretty hard on it. But then since there's another book called Hunger Games Catching Fire, they wanted to make another movie. So they said, okay guys, we gotta work a little bit faster because we gotta make Hunger Games Catching Fire next year. But I don't really think they really rushed on it, but I'm just not really sure. And also, the weird thing is, maybe they did rush it just to get money. I'm not sure if they really did rush it, but come on, they just might want to get money. And it might be just weird, since they got they got a huge box office on the Hunger Games, they want another money for another movie. That's what you do with movies, but when can you tell it's a cash-in? If you want to have lots of money, just please spend time with it. The movie turned out to be pretty good. There was lots of people that hated the movie, but actually it's probably my favorite Hunger Games movie, so it's actually a really good movie. But 1 year later, which was 2014, they came out with Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I can say about this movie, why did it have to split it in two parts? Come on, they just wanted more money for the two parts. Like in Part 1, it felt like the whole beginning of a Hunger Games movie, when Part 2 should have been at the end. So they should split the two movies up. And they just wanted more money because they just wanted to be a cash-in. Okay, we got big box office is on the first Hunger Games, so now we're gonna do on Catching Fire. But the company wants more money, so then they just split it into two parts. Does anybody know it's two parts? The book is pretty much as big as other Hunger Game books. Can they just make it into one movie? Come on. Part 1 felt like the whole beginning, but this year Part 2 is coming out. Part 2, when you could just switch the movie up. I understand how The Hobbit had 3 parts. It should have had 2 parts, but that was a long book. A really long book. Well, I should probably be talking about Lord of the Rings. But the Lord of the Rings was a really long book. And really long. So they had to split it into 3 movies. But with this book that's basically as big as the other Hunger Games books, you're just going to split it? And that's called a cash-in. Come on. You could easily tell that they were doing a cash-in. Also, to tell you the truth, with Divergent, I think they are doing a cash-in. I think with the first movie, they're actually, maybe with the first movie, they are doing a cash-in. Maybe they said, okay, we gotta work hard on this because we're gonna get lots of money. And this audience need a good movie. So then they make the movie, then they get a huge box office. But then they said, oh yeah, another movie. Yeah, we need to make that sequel in a year like Hunger Games. And then they just rush it to. It seems like it's a tradition now. It seems that every movie is coming out in each year. I do not have a problem with this. It just really confuses me. But I'm surprised they could actually make a whole movie in 1 year when it should be about 2 years. I bet people are glad they actually get a sequel in 1 year. But I sort of wish they could actually spend time on the movie. They probably do have time, but I sort of wish sometimes they could spend time. Even if it takes 2 years, you still need to spend time time on a movie to make a good movie. Which just really confuses me because all the time you have a movie first and then the next year it really has good special effects, and I got just finished 1 year after the original, which is just so confusing. I mean, they probably, it seems like they're actually rushing it just to make it 1 year, but maybe they're not. I'm not really sure. But in the first version, I really think they were rushing it, but I think it was just a box office. But in the second one, they just rushed it because when critics saw it, they said, "This is the worst." This is like, you could tell that this movie was a cash-in. They didn't even follow the book. I mean, I know some movies could follow the book, but sometimes movies don't really follow the book. But lots of the times, the movie didn't even follow the book. I mean, sometimes I know. Everybody's gonna say, movies don't have to follow the book. But in Insurgent, which is a sequel to Divergent, critics say that it didn't even follow the book. I mean, like, it didn't even really follow the book. But I mean, sometimes, I've seen movies based on books, and all the time they don't based off the book. And I mean, that's okay. Sometimes you have to delete some stuff from the book to make the movie good. But Insurgent, lots of critics say that it was just a cash-in and it didn't even really follow the book. Like, it didn't even follow the book. But it just really makes me mad. Like, it just really makes me mad about cash-ins. When they should be working on it, maybe, not just rushing it just to get a cash-in. That's why I think they should be working on the movie. If they want to get a cash-in, if they want to get a lot of money, they have to work on the movie. Then they'll probably get a more audience, and then the audience will come again and again and again. Then you'll get more money. But it doesn't matter if your movie is good or not. You need to make it doesn't matter if your movies. It doesn't matter if your movies. It matters if your movie is rushed. Don't make your movie rushed. Make it complete. And don't rush it, because that's called a cash-in. They just want their money. But I'm so worried about, I did like the Maze Runner, but I'm really worried that the second Maze Runner might be just a cash-in and it might be horrible. So, yeah, hopefully you agree with me. When is a movie just a cash-in? Sometimes remakes are cash-ins, but I think some cash-ins are maybe Cinderella or something. But I already got it, and when is a movie just a cash-in? But anyways, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and bye.